Hey ladies, apologize for the late video. As you can see, I'm at a cool angle because I bought a tripod. This is how serious I am, folks. Things are getting for real. Okay, starting off, I read last night after my other video 125 pages of Normal People by Rooney. And then today at work, I read another 180, which was 305 pages, which made me finish Normal People by Rooney, which was my Spinning the Wheel 2018 pick. And we were starting out really strong with books that I liked. This was really bad. Well, okay, so let me tell you what it's about. It's about these two people. What's her name? Marianne. And I read this today and I forgot her name. That's how much I don't like her. Marianne and Connell, and they're Irish. And they met they knew each other since they were kids. But they didn't start becoming friends until high school. And then from then on, they would come and go from each other's lives. And it just tells a story of that. And, it's like about how people never really leave you, even if they're out of your life. And it talks about, like, trauma and mental illness and how that affects your relationships and how it affects you as a person. And that's it. I didn't like this. Because at first, honestly, when I went into this, I really had no expectations, just because I feel like there's been a lot of mixed reviews from it, and I feel like it could have gone any which way, so I really didn't really expect much from it. And as I was reading, I felt like fairly neutral. I was like, okay, this is about what I expected, which is like middle of the road. But then I finished it, and then I was like genuinely mad. Like I was just getting madder and madder the further time like away from it. And it's just, I feel like the narrative structure is interesting, so that makes me want to read like more of her to see, maybe it's just this book. But I feel like no connection to these people. I found them pretty annoying, and God, it's hard to, like write about like complex relationships. It's not an easy thing. And usually what authors resort to is miscommunication. And I hate that. That is not entertaining. That's annoying as fuck. And I couldn't deal with it, because it's always Connell, bitch ass Connell. He always just didn't know how to talk to people. It was so frustrating, and of course that's the point, but girl, it's been years, get it together, get a therapist. Well, he does get a therapist, but that doesn't fucking do anything. He still fucks it all up. And it's just it's just these codependent people that get together and they fuck, and then for some reason, usually Connell, he says something, and then they grow apart, and then they meet again, and then they fuck, and then they grow apart, and then they come back, and that happens for genuinely years, and that's just the book. And it's just, and I feel like there are interesting things that Sally Rooney brings up, you get a drop of class commentary, but that's the thing, Sally. You can't just lay things out and expect to be okay, job is done. No, girl, you have to dig a little bit deeper into the things that you talk about, because it all feels like it lacks depth and it has no substance, and it's just totally impersonal. Yeah. And at the end, she Marianne attributes all of her happiness and all the good things that happen in her life to him, Connell. What the fuck? And also she has like sexually abusive relationships and how she's like submissive, I guess, in those relationships. And then when they fuck, he like treats her like, well, he doesn't hit her, but they like the way he talks to her. Ugh. They learned nothing. And certainly that could be interesting, like, oh, they're so, fucked up that they just like don't learn anything. But this one was stupid. And also, this is millennial cringe. Like, I'm not joking. This is millennial cringe. Just the way. This is millennials. These are millennials, and it's just I can't get behind that. Also, this is like objectively over-sexual, probably, but I'm asexual, so any sex in any media is already over-sexualizing things. That's about how I feel about this book. So, I don't know. I would give it, like... At first I was thinking, like, 2.5. Like, as I was reading, I was like, this is, like a mid book. But then I got more and more mad about it. And I'd probably say, like a 1.5. I feel like it's being too nice. Okay. Goodbye, Sally Rooney. Maybe I'll see you again sometime. The Irishman, they need to get it the fuck together. Okay. And still on the docket is Shadow of the Wind. I picked this up at work, and I read like a couple pages, and I was like, I'm excited to read it. I don't know if this will be what I read next, because I finished Sally Rooney, I get to spin the wheel again. Like, let's friggin' go. Okay. I got it here. Okay. Are we excited, guys? I hope it's not another one from the 2000s, because that'd be cringe. Okay, wheel! Yay! We're spinning! We're spinning! I can't see anymore because of my tripod. Oh my god, you can see it in the reflection of my monitor. I'm so scared. Oh! Speaking of Shadow of the Wind, it's by the same author, Marina. That's his, like, young adult, like, standalone. Wow, I haven't read anything other than his, like, Shadow of the Wind series. Cool. That's so close. It's 1999. That's so close. It's basically the 2000s. What the fuck? What's the point? I'll probably read that first because it's short. Shorter than Shadow of the Wind. Okay, that's all I have to say, I suppose. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry this is late again. Okay. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.